Welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll be reviewing session notes. To get to session notes, you can either click All Patients, search or click on the patient you're looking for, and then click on Session in their patient profile, or you can access it during a video session. There's two different sections here and a lot going on, so we're going to go through it piece by piece. History is going to be the entire history of notes for your patient. We have some already as an example, and we'll review them momentarily. But the table sorts by last updated by whomever used it, the last updated date and status, and then some actions depending on what status of the note it is. We also have the CPP, which is a cumulative patient profile. This list allows you to view anything inside of the patient's profile while you're taking your session notes. On the right-hand side, we have the actual session note. So the ability to track duration, which is completely optional, select or save templates, and create notes with a variety of different tools to match your needs. So let's say it's a brand new day, it's a fresh Monday morning, and we want to get started with a blank note. So once you've entered this page, if you haven't clicked on anything, you've already started a new note. You can either click on New Note at the top here to make sure of that, or you can click on Create to save a blank note that you can continue editing at your leisure. But if you're just going into this page without a note selected, you already have one started. So in this case, we're going to write something simple like, this is a training video for Adracare. And I'm going to click on Create. The note that I've just made has been now saved to this table, and I can go back and edit it at my leisure. This is where we get into the two different states of notes, in progress and completed. The Adracare platform allows you to mark notes as in progress or completed depending on where they are in your clinic. So for example, if you still need to do more work on a note and you don't really feel like you're done or the note has not enough information, you can leave it as in progress and continue to come back to this note and click on Save. So let's say our earlier note, I don't feel like it's done and I want to finish it. I can click on Edit, and then I can actually fill this note out some more. So I'm going to add an exclamation mark. I'm going to put in some formatting, potentially make a list. And I realize there's a problem. I don't want to write notes from scratch. So we'll leave that as a problem to tackle a little bit later on in this video. But if I'm comfortable with those changes, I can click on Save. Let's say I'm writing a note and I add some more information and I say, oh, I need to get up for a second. And I leave my computer, and in the off chance that my session times out, my power goes out, or for some unknown reason like the cat clicks the keyboard, I get sent to a different page. In progress notes will be saved as a draft in progress and will auto-save if you either navigate away from the page or the page refreshes on accident. So if you're ever worried about losing a note, autosave will kick in most circumstances. Now going back to our note, let's say we're comfortable with where it is and we want to complete this note. So there's an option to click on Complete Note at the bottom here. Completed notes are useful for when you want to say that a session note is done and you don't want to make any more edits to it on the go. So let's say there's no additional notes you want to add, no more formatting you want to make, and it's done. You can click on Complete Note. Now, completed notes come up just like a normal note if you preview them, but if you try to edit them, two things are different. Number one, autosave is off to prevent any accidental edits. And number two, this note can only be edited by specific users in the platform. So in this case, providers and everyone else can edit any additional normal notes that you create, but a completed note can only be edited by provider admins. So if I click on Update Note, any of the changes I've made now apply. But I had to click on Update Note in order to make those changes. This is useful in the case that you need to update a diagnosis, make an appended note towards something, or attach additional findings that were found when you've realized that this has been finished. But typically, an in-progress note's more internal, and a completed note is at a place where I can share it with an additional client or another clinic. But you may be wondering, okay, every time I've seen you take a note, there's just nothing there. I want to start notes, but I want to do it in an intelligent way. I want to use a template. So great question. Inside of the note editor, if you have templates you've made for previous session notes in, let's say, Word or Google Notes, what you can do is you can actually drop those in here and then save it as a template. So in this case, I'm going to write a generic note template, a SOAP template, S-O-A-P. And let's say I use this for every single one of my appointments. Up here, there's going to be a section for select a template and save as template. Oh, see, autosave just kicked in. I have a new note. So if I want to save this as a template, I can click on Save as a Template and then enter a name. SOAP note. Click on Save. So now, I now have a SOAP note template inside of my template dropdown. So I can get rid of this note that I'm currently working on, which comes up like this. Session notes are permanently deleted. So if you're wondering if you want to delete something or not, really consider if you're going to delete it or not. And you'll notice, okay, if I go into any of my other notes, I can now select SOAP note as a template. Or if I click on New Note, SOAP note, it'll appear in my note editor, and any changes I make here do not apply to the template, but they apply to the new note. If you ever want to edit these templates, go into the sidebar, Organization Settings, and then Template Manager. Sorry, Session Note Templates. Apologies. Inside of Session Note Templates, you'll see a list of your template name, created at, and the ability to edit or delete a template. If I click on Edit a Template, you'll see there's the template name and then the actual template with the same editor as before, with some minor tweaks. Click on Update when you're ready with those changes. If you want to remove a template, click on Delete. Session note templates will be completely deleted once you delete them. However, they will not affect the notes that are using that template. So if we realize we don't need the SOAP note and we've made 100 SOAP notes, but we want to update the template and use a different one, if you delete the SOAP note template, it will not affect any of those notes.